Hi everyone, it's Mr. Webster here, and I want to just walk you through how to do the lab. So I'm going to take you right from the beginning. I've just opened up the bag, and I've got my fishing line, I've got my the stopper, a mass, and I've got in my case I have the pen, but some of you will have a glass tube here. Okay, so step number one is you are going to tie the stopper to the fishing line. So I just kind of loop it through, make sure I tie it tight, really tightly, because you don't want it to come off and hit someone. This is what you're going to be swinging over your head in a minute. So look at this, I'm going to tie a bunch of knots here, okay, to make sure that's nice and tight. There's a little bit left over there. I'll get rid of that. Okay, so you got the stopper tied on nice and tightly. Okay, the next thing I'm going to do is I am going to take the other end of the line and run it down through my tube. Now again, I'm using the pen. Some of you are using the glass tube. So here we go. I've run that through. Okay, the next step is a critical step because so this is going to be what you're going to be swinging over your head, but you want the radius here to be exact. So what I'm going to do, I am going to use a little piece of masking tape. I'm going to show you a picture of this in a second, but I'm going over here and I'm going to measure it. And I'm measuring it from the top of the tube to the middle of the stopper. So here I go, I'm putting it along here. Now I'll show you that I've got a meter stick, but you can also just use a tape measure, okay? And so mine is 75 centimeters, okay? So I will have given you a radius to measure with. So there's 75. Now here's what's critical, is that I am now going to put my piece of masking tape underneath the tube by exactly an inch, okay? So I'll just show you this, and as soon as you lift it up, it's going to move, but the bottom line is that you've measured it. So there we go. I'm just going to rip this piece of masking tape off. And sure enough, what I've got now is I've got my stopper tied on the end, and I've got this masking tape. Now it can go all over the place, but I know that when I measured it, it was an inch below the bottom of the tube. And you're going to see in a minute that as I start swirling it, I'm going to try to position that masking tape so it stays there. Okay? We don't want it right against the tube because that's going to create friction. But as long as whatever you're consistent with, I've said it's about an inch. You know, I know that maybe that's a thumb width or something that I'm going to try to keep the tape there. Okay, the next thing we got to do is we got to tie the mass to the bottom of the string underneath the masking tape. Now, I've got a lot of extra fishing line here. I didn't need this much, so I'm going to tie it maybe about, I don't know, maybe 30 centimeters below the masking tape. But again, that distance doesn't matter. You don't need to measure that. Okay, so here I go. I'm going to tie the mass on. All right. I'm just trying to do this in one take, you guys, to see. This is like filming 1917, the movie. It's all done in one take. Okay, so I've got a bunch of extra string here. If you don't have to cut it off. I am going to cut it off. But if you're not positive and you want to keep it just in case. All right, so we're ready to go now. Now watch this. So here it is. I've got the stopper. I've got the stopper here on the end. I've got the hanging mass, okay, and it's what's going to provide the force. So it's pulling down on the string, which is technically keeping this in line. Now, the goal is to time how long it takes to do 20 revolutions. But to begin with, don't start timing yet. I would just practice with it. Now watch this. What I do to practice is I actually put my thumb on the top here just to kind of get it going, okay? Now, so look at this, I've got it going above my head, but now here's where I've got to slow the revolutions down because I need that masking tape to fall a little bit. So here we go, oh, there it goes. And see here, you may have to put your head, oh, it went too far, so now I'm going to spin it a little bit faster. So here you're practicing, I'm going to spin it a little bit faster, there it is. So it's about 1 inch below, and now what I'm going to try to do is be consistent and try to keep it at that level. And here's where, if I have a friend here, the friend is going to time. And so I'll count, and so I'll say, start. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So he stops on 20. So if it's your mom or dad doing it, or if it's your little brother, or if it's a friend, they stop timing at 20. So once again, like it takes, obviously the mass wants to pull the stopper through, so you got to kind of get it going. So you've got to hold the string just for a little bit, and then you kind of let go. Now, if you're going too fast, it's going to pull up. And if it's going too slow, like look, if I go too slow, it's going to fall down. So you got to get that exact frequency, that exact speed that's going to keep it steady. Remember, we want steady velocity, steady tangential velocity, and that's what's going to allow. So there it is. There's the 1 inch that we want in order for this to be, in order to get good data reading on this. Okay. So technically, it should be your radius is from there to there. That's the radius that you guys have measured, and then that matches up with it being 1 inch below here, and then your mass is pulling down. Okay? Just wanted to demonstrate that for you.